Yes. Yes. Please start. Yeah.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य
ज्ञानानन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जलाशयाख्या चक्षुरुन्मीलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यानन्दपितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः स्वदामयं ददा कृष्णामृतं
वन्देऽहं
वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुक्तपदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण सजीवं परमं कृष्ण चैतन्य देव श्रीराधा
कृष्ण
कृष्ण सहगण ललिता
नमो विष्णुपादाय
कृष्ण भूतले
श्रीमते
भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी
नामिने नमस्ते
नमस्ते सर्वदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चादेशाचार्य
श्री वंशकल्पतरुभैश्च कृपा सिन्धु एव च
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
हे
हे
कृष्णा
कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपीसा गोपीकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी
प्रणमामि
हरि प्रिय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त
राम राम हरे हरे श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Very nice, Ram and Arya. Good to hear that you are. Ram ko to I think definitely
हरे
was.
राम राम राम
Mataji, your voice is breaking.
My voice is breaking. I thought there was some issue.
Mataji, your voice
No, Mataji, no, your voice is not breaking.
My voice is not breaking. My voice is good. No, otherwise I'll have to switch on hotspot. Okay, in case it breaks, you let me know. Yeah. Okay.
Mataji, in middle it was breaking. It was breaking a little bit.
And in case it breaks going forward, let me know and then I'll switch on hotspot. Yeah. Okay. So, like we will start from the beginning today. 7th chapter, because a lot many things to cover in 7th chapter, but rather than starting in between, like might as well let me start from the beginning. Yeah. Okay. So, like I said last time, first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. It is divided into 3 parts. First 6 chapters, last 6 chapters, and middle 6 chapters. Okay. So first 6 chapters we covered. So that was mainly about karma. Now last 6 chapters is about bhakti. Beach mein wala jo 6 chapters hai, those are very, very interesting topics. Very interesting topics. Those are about, Krishna telling about himself. Yeah. So it is jnana. So it is like when you have a sandwich, it is like jam in the sandwich. Yeah. So we all love to eat jam, right? We all like jam. So it is like jam in the sandwich, or it is like cream. Yeah. So we are so my mistake. First 6 chapters are karma, last 6 chapters are jnana, and 7 middle chapters are bhakti. Okay. So my bad. So now. Okay, so last time in the 6th chapter, we studied Ashtanga Yoga. So Ashtanga Yoga, what did we learn? We learned that, sitting in the straight posture, back straight, neck straight, eyes closed, and then chanting the name, yeah, in meditation, yeah. But again, we have to go one step ahead. Meditating on whom? Meditating on Supreme Lord, thinking about Krishna, yeah. And then eventually Ashtanga Yoga should lead us to Bhakti Yoga. But what happens generally, we saw that also, while doing Ashtanga Yoga, we have very many Gyanis. yeah, then who later on turn into bhaktas. Like four Kumara story we saw. In four Kumara story, what happens at four Kumaras? They are impersonalist. They don't believe in the beautiful form of the Lord. They think Krishna is light. Yeah. So those four Kumaras, they were wandering in the universe. They came across Vaikuntha, beautiful planet of Vaikuntha. There they saw, they crossed one door, say second door, third door, fourth door, and then they reached the seventh door. Yeah. When they reached the seventh door, they saw that Jai Vijaya standing there. And when they saw that, they did not have any bhakti. But when they went there, when Vishnu came there, when the tulsi leaf fragrance pierced their nose, that time bhakti aroused in their heart. And then they saw the beautiful form of Lord Vishnu. And then they got attracted towards Vishnu. That is how love towards Vishnu got developed. Yeah. So then these jnanis who are only thinking that, only these are rules, regulations, Krishna is light, we should do this, we should not do this. Now the love for Krishna has got aroused in their heart. So ultimate aim that we saw it is bhakti yoga. Ultimate in that yoga ladder we saw, topmost mein kaun sa hai? Bhakti yoga hai, right? That means having loving relationship with our eternal Father Krishna. Yeah. We also saw the story of Sukadev Goswami. Sukadev Goswami, he was a jnani. He did not want to come out of his mother's womb. He was in the mother's womb for 16 years. He said, "Nahi, Papa, na, I know when I come into this material world, I will, I do not want to fall into this material pool, into this Maya. It is a world of Maya. Mujhe isme nahi girna hai, Baba." So then he was a jnani. So as soon as he came out, he started walking straight into the forest. Yeah. Then in the forest, he heard beautiful, he heard some woodcutters singing beautiful song about Krishna. Somebody singing about, Krishna playing a beautiful flute, playing flute, then surrounded by his friends, cowherd boys. And he was amazed to hear this beautiful song. He said, "Are, who is this person? I want to see this person." Then he heard another woodcutter singing a song. Yeah, he said, he was telling about the pastime of Putna, how Putna came to kill Krishna. And even if she came to kill Krishna, Krishna gave her a position in the spiritual world. He gave her a position because she came as mother, she fed him milk. She got a position in the spiritual world. When he heard about this, he cried and he fainted. Yeah, when he came back to his senses, he said, "I want to study about this person. Who is this person? Who is your guru?" Then this woodcutter say, "Our guru is Vedvyas." "Oh, he's my father, Vedvyas." He immediately took a U-turn. And then he went to his father. And then he learned the entire Srimad Bhagavatam from his father. Yeah. So you see that this Brahma Gyani, Sukadev Goswami, he became a bhakta. Yeah. So that is how, ultimate aim should be developing loving relationship with Krishna. That should be our ultimate aim in Bhakti Yoga. Yeah. So Ashtanga Yogi also, like we saw, Ashtanga Yogi, they develop many siddhis, like walking on the water, flying in the sky, becoming as small as an atom. Yeah. Creating, in planet like Vishwamitra created a planet. Yeah. So they after, through Ashtanga Yoga, you can develop the siddhis. They go to Siddhaloka, they get siddhis. Yeah. And now, so somebody would feel, wow, we should all do Ashtanga Yoga, get nice siddhis, walking on the water, flying in the air. Yeah, we can become a siddhi, we can go to America, we can go to London, we can go to Germany, we can show everyone, look at my siddhis. And everyone will be so amazed, and I will become so popular, I will become so famous. Everyone will say, wow, you know that person, you know that person. But what the problem is? Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, right? Again, we will take birth, we will die, we will take birth again. Yeah. But we do not know new birth may whether we will have the siddhis or not. So we will come again, we will have diseases, we'll have old age, we'll again have death, right? So we'll continue to come, we will continue to be in this material world. Yeah. So that is why it is not advised that we do this, all this devotional service. It is not advised that we do it for attaining siddhis. Siddhis are all temporary. Today it is there, tomorrow it may not be there, right? So what will be there ultimately, eternally what will be there? Our loving relationship with Krishna. That will always be there. Yeah. So, yeah. So today we are going to, our acronym of chapter 7 is HEAD, H-E-A-D, hearing about Krishna. Yeah. So Arjuna says, Krishna, see, in spite, you tell me so many things about yourself, but we do not have any affection about you, right? We have affection for our brothers, we have our affection for our parents, we have affection for our sisters, and everyone in the family, but we do not feel a connection with you. So ऐसे ऐसे अंदर से आता नहीं है कि आपके बारे में हम सुने, आपके बारे में हम जाने. Yeah, so ऐसा कुछ ये नहीं आता है. So Krishna says, yes, he tells Arjuna, you will be able to appreciate me when you start hearing about me. Shravanam. Okay, he says that love for me will arouse when you hear about me. Yeah, Mad gate antaratmana. Yeah, who always thinks about me and who hears about me, who does Shravanam, who understands, then faith will come. When will faith come? Faith will come from knowledge. अगर मैं आपको बस बताऊं कि नहीं, you know what, Krishna is supreme, you should always worship Krishna, you should always do this for Krishna, you should always do that for Krishna. वो तो बताओ, Krishna super powerful है, हम कैसे believe करें? Right? You are all new generation kids. You will always ask why. Right? That question, क्यों? मेरे friends तो नहीं करते, उनका तो सब कुछ अच्छा चल रहा है. Right? That why will always be there, that question mark will always be there. So this faith will develop when you have knowledge. So the main intention of studying Bhagavad Gita is to have knowledge. And how will you have this knowledge? By studying the scriptures. So Krishna is telling that by hearing, yeah, if you hear about me, then you will become attracted toward me. Then you will become attached to me. And then what will that mean? Attachment towards Krishna and detachment towards wrong things. Then you will go away from the wrong things. Yeah. So he's saying that you hear about me. Then he said, so that acronyms will cover later. Yeah, okay. Yes. Yeah. So Krishna is saying, hearing reveals the knowledge about Krishna. So of all the limbs, Bhakti Yoga, Shravanam means hearing. Of all the limbs of Bhakti Yoga, Shravanam, or hearing about the Supreme Lord, is the foremost by which one can know in full. One can know about Krishna in full. Yeah. So now Krishna says, my dear Arjuna, I will give you two gyans. Okay, one is I will tell you about myself. I will give you gyan and I will give you vidyan. What does gyan means? Gyan means greatness about God. Now he's saying that I will tell you about myself. Yeah, and I will also give you vidyan. Vidyan means sweetness of Lord. Right? So greatness means what? Krishna expands into spiritual and material worlds, right? From his body, you see, innumerable universes are coming out from his body. That is Krishna. But at the same time, you see in the other picture, Krishna is not hesitating to pick up sandals of his father on his head. Yeah. So that is about Vidyan, his sweetness. Again, Gyan means what? Knowing that I am not this body, I am spirit soul, I am child of Krishna, right? Vidyan means difference between soul and super soul. My connection with Krishna, that is Vidyan, right? So Krishna is telling that, I am going to give you all this knowledge. So chapter 7 and 8 will tell about Gyan, and chapter 9, 10 and 11 will tell you about Vidyan. Yeah? So Krishna say, Arjuna, then who will understand this knowledge which you are teaching me? Okay, Arjuna is asking this question to Krishna. So Krishna is saying, Arjuna, this knowledge is very, very rare. Okay, out of thousands of people who are trying for perfection, okay, only one of them might understand this knowledge. They will understand this truth and they will come to me. Right? Like we saw, thousands of kids are there in Mumbai. How many kids are studying Bhagavad Gita? Lakhs and lakhs of students are there. But only the 33 kids on the group are studying Bhagavad Gita. Right? So it is even if this knowledge is there, people are not ready to take this knowledge. So that is why Krishna is saying it is very, very rare knowledge. Arjuna, yeah, that is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. And although many of us are aware about this knowledge, some understand and some misunderstand. Okay, कोई इसको misunderstand, कोई गलत interpret करता है और कोई इसको सही से interpret करता है. So one who misunderstands, so one who understands this knowledge are very, very rare. Okay, then acronym E. E stands for everywhere. What does this mean? That Krishna's presence is everywhere. Yeah. So basically Krishna is, so we see that, earth, water, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. These are all constitutes of 8 separated energies of Krishna. Okay. So these separated energies, right, they are created, they are maintained, and they are destroyed. Okay, repeatedly, not only once. They're again created, they're maintained, they're destroyed. Again, they're created, maintained, destroyed. Yeah? Repeatedly, this thing is happening. And all this, who does it belong to? Everything belongs to Krishna. Yeah. Now these energies, right? You see this earth, water, fire, all this ether, everything is external energy of Krishna. This is called inferior energy. Yeah. Then Krishna says, over and above this external energy, Arjuna, I have spiritual energy also. Yeah. There is a spiritual world. There is another world which is very dear to me, Arjun. So this world is the spiritual world, wherein I play with my cowherd friends everywhere. Yeah. In the spiritual world. And he says, in the spiritual world, there are many jivas who are living. And but those jivas have come to the material world because they wanted to enjoy independently. Yeah, that is all those jivas are my antaranga shakti. They are my internal potency. Yeah. So Krishna says that, like, so sun and sunlight is together. That is how, Krishna in the spiritual world can be compared to sun and sunlight. They're always together. Moon and moonlight, they're always together. Yeah. So that is the, so these are internal potencies. Yeah. Internal potencies, Krishna, they're always together. Yeah. Then he explains about us. Yeah. So if you see that, like we wear a shirt outside, and so on us, what we do, we first wear for boys, it is for, they wear a banyan, and over and above they wear a shirt, right? So the body, so like that only we have a soul. Yeah. And the subtle body is like a banyan, and this gross body is like a shirt. Okay. So this soul is totally internal within our body. Yeah. Which is, like you all have answered, that this is a chetana within our body, with which we know that the living being is living. Okay. That this person is living. This is chetana. Then the subtle body, so this is soul is Satchitananda. Yeah. It is full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. Satchitananda. Then we have a subtle body. Yeah. Subtle body is what? Mind, intelligence, and ego. Man.
Mataji, what is the meaning of subtle?
Subtle means we cannot see. Can you see intelligence? Can you see mind? Can you see ahankar? No. So it is subtle. And gross body means which we can see with our eyes. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. So this is gross elements. Yeah? So we are all covered of these 3 things. And all these 3 things, are, so we are all made up of these 3 things.
Mataji, what is ether?
Ether is sound in the air.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Krishna
Krishna is saying that, we have this ahankar. So we need to move from this false ego to the true ego. Why this false ego is there? Because we have lust, anger, and greed. Yeah, and that is why, because we have this lust, anger, and greed, right? We are not pure. So what is our ultimate aim? We have to become totally pure. And how can we become pure? We can become pure by serving Krishna. Yeah? So then we will become completely pure. Okay. So then Krishna says that, I create all this universe. Arjuna, I create all this universe, and I maintain them. I destroy them, and again create them. So I create and destroy. I create and destroy. Yeah. So this is what Krishna is telling Arjuna, that I create this material universes, and in this material universes, all these jivas are living with this subtle body, with this gross body and subtle body. Yeah. And because they have lust, anger, and greed, that is why they are living in the material world. If they would have been pure, they would have come to my world, Goloka. Okay, that is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. Yeah. So then someone may ask, so basically Krishna is saying that, just like we have so this material world is just like a jail that we have in our city, right? We have a jail. Why is the jail created? Because there are few people who are very, troubling others, they're looting, they're very bossing. Yeah. So then they have to be reformed, right? So similarly, Krishna is saying that this material world is like a jail. Yeah. There are many atheistic. Atheistic means people who do not believe in God. Yeah. So what do these atheistic people do? So like, I'll just give an example. Yeah. So you have pearls. Yeah, you have moti, you have pearls, you keep it in, you make a nice necklace. How do you make the necklace? By keeping it next to each other. Yeah. But you move the pearls, all the pearls will get disturbed. But, so this is the example Krishna is giving. Okay. So, but when you have these pearls which are, bounded by a nylon thread. Yeah. So then it will become a nice necklace. So Krishna is saying, I am supporting this entire universe, right? Like pearls strung on a thread. So this entire universe, who is supporting? Krishna is supporting. The sun is revolving, earth is moving, all the galaxies, all the clusters, everything is in place. Why? Because I am there. It is not like sometimes earth changes the track and crashes on Mars. Sometimes, one planet, Jupiter and Saturn, they clash with each other. It doesn't happen. Never does it happen. Why? Because everything is controlled with Krishna's energy. Okay. So that Krishna is only saying, okay, this is Krishna's example only. So any Tom, Dick and Harry cannot say this. This is Bhagwan himself who is saying this. Yeah. So before we move into the the later part, we will give a small glimpse of the creation of universe. Yeah. So then a universe is there are two creations. One is Sarga and other is Visarga. Okay. So how can we say that Krishna existed even before the spiritual world eternally, even before the entire creation was created? So this is a verse from Bhagavatam. It says the personality of Godhead, the master of all living entities, existed prior to the creation. Last time someone asked, how do we know that? When was Krishna born, right? So Krishna was always there. This is coming from Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna says, I was always there. Yeah. Then just as we see, that in our material world, there is one sun. Okay, one sun which is providing light to all the other planets. Right? We see one sun in the center and all the planets rotating around it. Yeah. But in the spiritual world, all the planets are effulgent, self-effulgent. मतलब उनको sun की जरूरत नहीं है, उनको अपनी खुद की ही light है. They are all self-effulgent. Right? जैसे हमको light लगाना पड़ता है, उनको light नहीं लगाना पड़ता. They are self-effulgent. So self-effulgent, and why? How come they are self-effulgent? Because in each planet is presided by one of the form of Vishnu. हर एक planet में एक कृष्ण विष्णु का एक form जाके बैठता है. That is why it is self-effulgent. So it could be Narayana, it could be Madhava, it could be Govinda, it could be Madhusudana, anyone. And out of all these planets, which is the main planet? Vaikuntha, Goloka. So Goloka is like a pendant in the necklace. And Krishna resides in two-handed form in Goloka. And four-handed form, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma in Vaikuntha. Okay. Then from the body of Krishna, what happens? Innumerable. So Krishna expands as Mahavishnu. When the creation has to be done, Krishna expands as Mahavishnu. Yeah. And then from Mahavishnu's, so he says here, this is again a verse from Bhagavad Gita. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matah sarva pravartate. Yeah. So I am the source of all the spiritual worlds and material worlds. Everything comes from me. Can anyone say everything comes from me? Can anyone say I am source of all the spiritual worlds? Because he is the source of all the spiritual worlds. That is why he is saying this. Understand this. No one can say I am a source of all the spiritual world. This is a very, very important thing. We all should know this. And that is why we call Krishna as Bhagwan. And if any person is saying this, then he should prove that he. And other thing is also, like we saw, there are many Dhungi sadhus. But if they are not, their appearance is not prescribed in the scriptures, we should not consider them as valid, as a true sadhus, yeah, or true incarnations, yeah. So Krishna expands as Mahavishnu, and from the body of Mahavishnu, you see so many balls are coming out. They are all innumerable universes that are coming out, right? So Big Bang Theory, it is good for the books. You can learn it to the extent that you have to give your exams. But that is not what the fact is. The fact is that the creation happens from the body of Mahavishnu. Innumerable universes are coming from the body of Mahavishnu. When he exhales, all the universes comes out. When he inhales, all the universes are destroyed. Yeah. So, and yes. Yeah. So if you see this, yeah, our whole universe is compared to a single mustard seed. आपने देखा होगा mustard seed? क्या कहते हैं उसको हिंदी में? We call it mori in Marathi, but so mustard seed is like that, so one universe is like that mustard seed. So
Ma'am, it's Mataji, it's called Rai ka dana.
Rai ka dana. Yes. Thanks, Roshni Radhika. Yeah, thank you so much. So it is like the entire universe is like a small mustard seed. Just imagine, हम तो राई ऐसे डाल देते हैं अंदर, है ना, जब भी छौंक देते हैं तो. So entire universe is compared to that small mustard seed. So there are innumerable universes like comes in a form of small mustard seed. So it's like a bag full of mustard seeds. Yeah. Then what happens? Then so if you see, then Mahavishnu creates a lot of universes. So Radha and Krishna, listen to this very carefully. Yeah? Radha and Krishna are our eternal parent. Okay, they are eternal. They are called our global parent. Then what happens is that Krishna glances through Shambhu, and then he impregnates all the jivas in the womb of Durga. Okay, so thus Shiva and Durga are, Jiva is all of us. Okay, all of us are jivas. So the Shiva and Durga are our jiva, are our parents in the material world. So they are called local parents. Okay, so who is our global parent, eternal parent? Our eternal parent is Radha and Krishna. Global parent is Durga and Shiva. Then over and above that, we have one more local parent. Who are they? The parents in our home, our mother and father. Yeah. So in this life we have these parents. In another life we will get another parent. Yeah. So prati janma janma pita mata paya. So if you are a dog, so every life that you take, you will have parent. So you take a dog life, again a dog life, you will have parents of who will be a female dog and a female dog. Yeah, you take human birth, again you will have a parent who will be a father and a mother. Yeah. So those are our eternal parents, Radha and Krishna eternal parents. Listen carefully. Shiva and Durga are our local parents, and we have one more local parents in this material world, who are the parents whom which we are living. Yeah. So if you become perfect, you will get global parents eternally. Yeah. So then, because they are our eternal parents, you are eternal, they are eternal, Krishna is eternal, and your relationship with Radha and Krishna is also eternal. Yeah. So Durga Mata is Bahiranga Shakti. Yeah. So Durga Mata, you see, she has a trishul in her hand. She has 10 hands. So she is like a jail keeper. Okay. So this material world is a jail, and she is like a jail keeper. And she appears as a Chandi, Chamundi, Bhadrakali. Yeah. So and she has many hands because she is the jail keeper of this material world. Yeah. Then what else is there? Yes. Yeah. So then once this universes are created, what happens is that Krishna, Mahavishnu, he expands as Garbhodayakshi Vishnu. Okay, listen very carefully. Mahavishnu expands as Garbhodayakshi Vishnu and enters each and every universe. You saw the small balls like mustard seeds. So Mahavishnu expands as Garbhodayakshi Vishnu.
Actually, Mataji, last time you showed the Goloka chat, that I saw Garbhodakshi Vishnu was inside our universe.
Yes, exactly. So Mahavishnu expands his Garbhodakshi Vishnu and he enters all the universes. Right? Like mustard seeds, there are innumerable universes, he will expand innumerably. And he will go into each universe. Okay? And Mahavishnu, so Mahavishnu, he lies on Ananta Shesh. Okay, he rests on Ananta Shesh. Yeah, and we are all tiny jivas. So, so from this navel of Garbhodakshi Vishnu, you see who is coming out? Brahma is coming out. So all this jivas, so Garbhodakshi Vishnu, what he will do? He will take all the jivas and he'll enter into one universe. Yeah, okay. So all these jivas which we are roaming outside, so each Garbhodakshi Vishnu will take one set of jivas, he'll enter into one universe. He'll take another Garbhodakshi Vishnu, will take another set of jivas, he'll enter into another one. Yeah, so like third Garbhodakshi Vishnu will come, he will take another set of jivas, he'll enter into another one. Yeah, and then what happens? From his navel, who comes out? Brahma comes out. So whenever you see a Brahma coming out from the navel of Vishnu, remember, who is it? He is Garbhodakshi Vishnu. Okay, remember that. Okay, so then the best of the jivas.
Mataji, actually, also Mataji, in the Goloka chart, I saw that the stem of the lotus, where Brahma is sitting, the stem, the bottom part has the Patalok and the above part has the Narakalok.
We'll see that. Okay, so we'll hold on. So what happens is, who comes out? He comes out as a so Brahma comes out, and the Brahma is one of the best devotee of Krishna. So Brahma is also a jiva. Understand this. So Brahma is amongst all the jivas that Garbhodakshi Vishnu carried in that universe. Brahma is one of the best of the jivas, and then he gets the position of Brahma. Okay. Now and then what happens is, from the navel of Vishnu, from the lotus stem of the Vishnu, all the jivas are there in the stem of the Vishnu. So you see, yeah.
Mataji, actually, I went to Padmanabhan Swami temple where I could see the Garbhodakshi Vishnu.
Okay, so now what happens? You see here, who is he? Come on, tell me. Who is
Mahavishnu.
he? He is Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu.
Why? Because from his body, the universes are coming out. He is omnipotent. Omnipotent is all powerful because he is able to create all the universes. Yeah. Who is this?
Garbhodakshi Vishnu.
Garbhodakshi Vishnu. Yeah. Why? Because from his navel, who is coming out? Brahma is coming out. Now we'll introduce one more Vishnu. Okay. And who is that one more Vishnu? Who is with all of us?
There are 4 Vishnus, right?
Yeah. So one Vishnu is sitting in Vaikuntha.
Kshirodakshi Vishnu Mataji.
He is Kshirodakshi Vishnu. He is in form of Paramatma with all of us.
Mataji, what is the third type of Vishnu?
This is so when is Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshi Vishnu, Kshirodakshi Vishnu. So this Mahavishnu is also called Karnodakshi Vishnu.
Okay, ma'am.
This is Paramatma. So Father never leaves his child. So just see, even in the stool, the insect are there. With that insect also, Paramatma is there in form of Kshirodakshi Vishnu. In a lion also, Kshirodakshi Vishnu is there. In a cockroach also, Kshirodakshi Vishnu is there. In a mosquito also, Kshirodakshi Vishnu is there. So Krishna, whatever birth we take in 84 lakh species, Krishna never leaves us. Okay. So it's like, my child, this is just a temporary home. You have to go back home to Godhead. Yeah. So Krishna is always there with us. Okay. So who is this Vishnu? Come on.
Mataji, this is Garbhodakshi Vishnu.
This is Garbhodakshi Vishnu. Okay. Yeah. So then from his navel we saw this. Yeah. Yeah. So in the spiritual world, there is no creation and destruction. Like so when this material world is created, we are given a timer. Tick 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 tick. Yeah. And once the stopwatch is there, no. So once it comes to 0, When it comes to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, destruction. Okay, so that material world, the creation and destruction happens.
It's like a ticking bomb.
Yeah, so this is very temporary. But the spiritual world, there is no destruction. Yeah, so that we have to understand very carefully. Okay. Yes. Now what Krishna is saying, the whole cosmic manifestation, whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again. And under my will, it is automatically annihilated and destroyed at the end. Okay. Now see here, what is Krishna saying? I enter into each planet and by my energy, they stay in orbit. Yeah. So you see that these planets are not clashing against each other. Doom, clash. They are not doing all that. Okay. They are systematically rotating. And why? How are they rotating? With the energy of Krishna. Right. So you see, there was this ninth planet. Planet was yes, Swara?
Yes, Mataji. So science says that all the planets are rotating systematically because of the energy of the sun, because of the gravitational force of the sun.
So who is giving energy to the sun? From where is sun getting energy? That science is not able to explain. Right? Where did the sun come from? That science is not able to explain. Right? So everything, eventually everything comes from Krishna. Right? Yes. So Krishna is saying, Arjuna, know that all the opulent and beautiful, glorious creations that sprung are just a spark of my splendor. Okay, ये तो बस इतना सा spark ही है. आप मुझे पूरा देखोगे तो आपको क्या लगेगा? No, it is just a spark. It's just a minute, tiny thing that I am showing you. Yeah. So that is what Krishna is. Yeah. Then you see, Krishna is the source of all the Vishnus in Brahma Vimohan Leela. When Brahma stole all the cowherd boys and the calves, you know, then Krishna expanded himself as also cowherd boys and the calves, right? And then when Brahma came and surrendered, and he asked for Krishna to forgive him, then he showed that all these cowherd boys and all these calves are me himself. He showed all the Vishnu form. So someone says that Vishnu is at the top and Krishna is next. Krishna has shown here that I am from me. All the Vishnus emanate from me. They all come from me. Yeah, so you have to remember this when somebody asks you who is at the topmost. Krishna is topmost, and from Krishna, all these Vishnus they come.
Mataji, my Nanima says that Shiva is at the topest. Ma'am, I can't hear you.
We'll cover that in the creation of universe. So Shiva Loka is below Vaikuntha Loka. Okay, but that is above the universes. Yeah, ठीक है, चलो. Billions of universes emerge from Mahavishnu, who is only a portion of Lord Shri Krishna. So it is also millions of universes, just a small portion of Lord Shri Krishna. Okay, then
how many Vishnus are there?
There will be innumerable Vishnus. You saw those innumerable Vishnus?
Yes, Mataji, in the last slide.
Garbhodakshi Vishnu, like so many Mahavishnu expands into Garbhodakshi Vishnu, it goes into entire this smaller universes. Yeah. Then you check Shirodakshi Vishnu, 84 lakh species. Yeah. All of us, when ask Shirodakshi Vishnu is there. Right? Okay. So then,
Ma'am, what is the meaning of Bhuloka?
Bhuloka is our earth. It's our earth. Yeah. So Brahma. So this is the entire our Brahmand. Okay, and you see all these 14 planetary systems. We are here. Okay, Swarga Loka, Ma Loka, Jana Loka, Tappa Loka, Satya Loka, and then Atal, Sutal, Patal, Rasatal, Talatal, Mahatal. Yeah. So these are all the planetary system, and all this creation is done by Krishna. Yeah, and Krishna lies on the milk ocean. Yeah, Krishna lies on milk ocean. That milk ocean is called Shweta Dweep. And whenever there is problem on the earth, what happens? Then Bhudevi, she goes with that problem to Lord Brahma. And then what does Brahma do? Brahma and Bhudevi and all the devatas, they go to Shvetadweep, and on the Shvetadweep they request Lord, this Garbhodayak Shri Vishnu. Yeah, they request Garbhodayak Shri Vishnu to help them. Yeah, and then he keeps all the avatars ready: Kurma avatar, Varaha avatar, Narasimha avatar, and he releases them one by one. Whenever there is a problem, he will just release them one by one. Yeah, so like that. Yeah. So, and one more aspect, yeah. So Krishna enters into every atom. There is not a single place where Krishna is not there. Yeah. Even if you are science students, you know that in each atom there are electrons, protons, neutrons, right? Even those electrons cannot rotate without energy of Krishna. And even the space between the atoms, there also Krishna is present. So Krishna, there is no place where Krishna is not present. So Krishna is the energy of everything that is existing in this material world. Yeah, and you see,
And can you repeat the place where Krishna lives?
it is Goloka in two-handed form.
Okay, ma'am.
And you see, in all the living entities, Krishna is present at Paramatma, Kshirodayakshi Vishnu. Yeah? Yes. Then there is a second creation which is done by Lord Brahma, Visarga. Yeah? So, and Krishna is source of all the devatas also, right? So he is the master of all the devatas. So all the devatas are his ministers. Like we have a prime minister and we have ministers. Yeah, all the devatas are ministers. And these devatas, they don't feel that we are subordinate to Krishna. Krishna is supreme. So they don't feel all that. They are all devotees of Krishna. Okay, so they all love Krishna. They all worship Krishna. They all know the supremacy of Krishna. Okay. So, so all these devatas, like you see, they are all coming from Krishna. Yeah. Now Lord Brahma, he glorifies Krishna. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute, with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids. So this Brahma is saying in Brahma Samhita, okay, Brahma is glorifying Lord Krishna, that how beautiful Lord Krishna is. Yeah. Then all these jivas, now Garbhodaksha Vishnu has got all these jivas into material world. Now all these jivas will be wandering, pata hi nahi hai kya karna hai, pata nahi hai kahan jana hai. Okay, they are wandering in this universe. So what is Krishna has done is, so through Brahma, okay, Krishna gives Vedic knowledge through parampara system. Krishna says that, through Brahma, he says, this is the Vedic knowledge. You should study this thing and you should come back home. This is our temporary home, because this will get destroyed after some period of time. If you gain this pure knowledge and you purify yourself, I will personally come and take you back home. Yeah. So because otherwise, like small children, we are all like small children of Krishna. If we do not know, we will just keep on wandering and we will get lost in this material world. That is why Krishna gives this knowledge through Guru. Yeah. And who is our Guru? Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada falls into Brahma, Madhav, Gaudiya Sampradaya. Okay, so he is coming in a disciplic succession. So whatever knowledge that we are getting, it is very pure and it is very authentic. Okay, then yes. So God provides all the facilities for us to eat, sleep, and enjoy. But at the same time, he is also giving us this knowledge. Yeah, he's saying, my dear child, you need to get enlightened. You need to study this, and take help of a bona fide guru to study this knowledge and come back home. Yeah. So later on, Krishna is now telling about himself. Okay, so this was all creation of universe. We went a little aside, and I just gave you a glimpse of what is the position of Krishna. Yeah. Now further moving ahead. Okay, what is Krishna telling? Krishna is telling, I am in Shloka 7.8, chapter 7, verse 8. Krishna is saying, I am the taste of water. Right. So like when all of us feel thirsty on a very hot summer day, and when we get a nice chill pot of water and we drink it, we feel so nice. Yeah. So when you drink water next time, You remember that Krishna is the taste in the water. Yeah. Then,
Mataji, but the water has no taste.
sorry, water has taste. Of course, water has taste. Otherwise, you not like water. You also further one step ahead. You drink water from different places. Different water has different taste.
Yes.
Simple. At home also, boiled water, non-boiled water, that also has taste, different taste.
Yes.
Places has different taste. Okay?
Mataji, I like normal water more than boiled water.
All of us like the same thing. Yeah. Then Prabhashmi Shashi Surya. Oh, he says, I am the light of the sun and the moon. Okay. So much light we get from the sun. If sun starts sending us a bill, okay, he sends us a bill, we'll be able to pay the bill. है ना, घर का बिल ही इतना लंबा चौड़ा आता है, बड़ा मोटा बिल आता है. अगर सन ने भी बिल देने लगे तो सन का तो बिल, I don't know when we will be able to pay. In this lifetime, so definitely will not be able to pay. Yeah. So he is the
Because the whole life you will using the light of sun. Na?
exactly right.
So
From
that will be increasing.
the grains that we eat, you know, the plants that grow, there's light. Everything light is needed, no? Otherwise, we'll not survive only. Yeah. Okay. So then he says, I am the light of the moon. Yeah. So moon, you know, like moon provides us different type of juices. It provides in all the vegetables and all the fruits. Where does that that juice comes from? That comes from moon. So moon provides different types of juices: sweet, pungent, salty, sour, bitter, astringent. All those type of juices comes from moon. Yeah. So like, you know, if for example, you know, these bananas are artificially ripened. They are made nice yellow, bright yellow bananas. It looks nice, but what happens? There is no taste because they are not allowed to ripen in the moonlight. Yeah. So that is why. So Krishna is the.
Mataji, how do taste and flavors come from the moon?
That is the thing. How does a plant grow from a seed? How does a banyan tree grows from a small seed like this much? Right? That is all energy of Krishna. Yeah. Ishani, you have a question?
Yes, Mataji, I wanted to ask that you said the moon gets light from Krishna, but no.
It gets energy from Krishna. Moon gives us light.
Oh.
So he says, I am light of the moon. Yeah.
Yes, and you also said that the sun gets energy from Krishna, but the sun is like just a ball of fire and burning gases. So that's the fire gives the light. So
where does the fire come from?
Yeah.
Right? The fire comes from Krishna. That heat comes from Krishna.
Okay.
Then Pranava Sarva Vedeshu, I am Om. When you say Om, he's saying I am the syllable Om in Vedic mantras. Then he says Shabdake, I am the sound vibration in ether. Right? See, you will say all this only when you are providing all that, right? Like that, otherwise you will not fake it. So Krishna is saying all this. I am the light of the sun, I am the light of the moon, I am the sound in the ether. Yeah. Then what is it? Paurusham Rushu, I am ability in the man. Yeah. Then Punyogandha, Prithvyam Cha, I am the original fragrance on the earth, right? When a raindrop, when the rain showers on the earth, when it touches the earth, there's a beautiful fragrance, there's a nice fragrance that comes, right? Krishna says, I am that fragrance of the earth. So even when a rose seed you take, you know, you break that seed and see whether a beautiful fragrance comes, no. Whether a nice fragrance comes, no. But when that seed, you know, grows into a nice plant, and you know, when there's a nice, beautiful rose flower, and then you smell the flower, you know, you get a nice fragrance out of that flower. So he says, I am the fragrance, you know, on the earth. Then what does he say? Tejas Chashmi Vibhavashu, I am the heat in the fire. Just imagine If there is no heat in the fire and fire is cold, will you be able to cook? Yeah. Right. So
No.
he is in the heat in the fire. Okay. Yes. I'll show you this nice video. Krishna says, I am life in all that lives. Yeah, 1 second. I'll show you this nice video. I'll have to share the sound 1 second. Saying, I'm life in all that lives. What happened? Saying I am providing food for everyone, each type of species. There are 84 lakh of species. I am providing food for all the species that are there on the earth. I am providing food as much as food for an elephant that I am providing for an ant. So scientists and industrialists can make nuts and bolts, but we cannot make. They cannot make even a single one grain also. They will not be able to make. Krishna is saying that all the species, I am life on all that lives, and I am providing everything for everyone. I will just stop this sound so that I can see all of you. Okay. Then let us move ahead. Yes, yeah. Then what does he say? Tapas Chasmi Tapas Vishu. I am the penance of all the austerities. So I provide strength to all the tapasvis, yeah, so that they get inner strength to control their senses. I give them strength. I am the original seed of all the existences, right? So all the 84 lakh species are created by me. Yeah. So for example, there are 30, there were 120 species of desi cow. Okay, now there are only 30 species left. Now, can scientists create them? No, they cannot create them. So if you want one more species, what you'll have to do? You'll have to go to Krishna. Krishna, can you please give me the seed of the species? Yeah. And then when he gives the seed of the species to, then he has to give it to Mother Earth. Yeah. Then the seed is given by the father, and then the Mother Earth will be able to give that species to us. But scientists cannot create those species. Yeah. Then he says, I am buddhimatam asmi. I am intelligence of the intelligent. Yeah, so Einstein and Newton, they cannot say, this is my intelligence. Krishna is the provider of intelligence. Yeah. Then I am the prowess of all the powerful men.
Mataji, but Albert Einstein had a smaller brain. That's why he was very intelligent. That's what scientists say.
Whatever it is, smaller brain, bigger brain, who gives the power in that brain? You remember we saw that Muhammad Ali? He was such a big, and then eventually he couldn't live because of that Parkinson disease. He was not even able to lift a coffee cup. Who gives that power? It comes from Krishna. He says, I am the strength of the strong. Yeah. Then he says, I am the child of that is born of religious principles. Yeah. So this is very, very important. Yeah, Krishna doesn't like irreligious relationships. Right? So crushes, boyfriends, girlfriends, and all that, Krishna, it is a sin to have all that. Understand that this is not authorized, or this is not allowed in the scriptures. Yeah, it is a big sin to have a girlfriend, boyfriend, and crushes and all that. So Krishna says that I am child that is born of religious principles. So your religious principles is very much stressed upon. Yeah. Then there's a nice okay. 1 second, I'll just play this one. What is the time now? Okay, I will what I'll have to do. One second. Huh?
Shidev.
Besides these energies are strung on
Can
a
you
thread.
hear?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
we can hear.
Mataji.
Hear how everything is strung upon me. I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon,
Mataji, we can't see.
Om in the Vedic
Can't see.
mantras.
That is the
I
problem.
am the sound
No,
in ether,
Mataji, your screen
and
is
I
not
am the
visible.
ability of man. I am the original fragrance of the earth. I am the heat and fire, the life of all that lives.
Can you hear?
No, Mataji.
You can't hear? You can't hear?
No.
No, Mataji, and your screen is not visible.
Yes, Mataji. We can't see the screen.
You just have to hear the computer audio, okay? One second. I will try it again, otherwise we will leave it. One second. Spend too much time on this. We'll try. Share sound. Okay, share. Now let me try.
Are strung
Can you
on a
hear now?
thread.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Please hear how
Mataji,
everything is
can't
strung
see.
upon me.
But screen, can you see?
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji.
Can't see the screen.
You can't see the screen. Okay, okay. Any which is way, I'll play the audio and then I will show you the screen, okay? Because this is any which is, I just wanted you to hear the audio. Okay, now hear this very carefully. Yeah? This screen on here, just 1 second. We did this trying. Let us see what happens. Play the screen.
Hare Krishna, Didi.
Hare Krishna. See when you share now, you share.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
मेरा पैसा आएगा फोन करूंगा दीजिएगा आपके बाद कैश
एक मिनट screen ना, then whatever that is visible on the screen, they'll see.
I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, and the
Can you hear the? Can you hear and see the screen?
Mataji, you cannot
Yes, Mataji, your screen is also visible and we can hear the audio.
It's like we can only hear an audio.
You can hear the audio, no?
syllable
Yes,
Om in the Vedic mantras.
Okay.
I am the sound in ether, and I am the ability in man. I am the original fragrance of the earth. I am the heat and fire, the life of all that
Listen very
lives.
carefully, yeah?
I am the penances of all ascetics. Know that I am the original seed of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men. I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life, which is not contrary to religious principles. Whatever you see, you should know, comes from me. There is no limit to this, for everything is under my control. Everything, whether of goodness, passion, or ignorance, comes from my energy. But I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature. Rather, they are under me. O Krishna, everything comes from you, but why are people unaware of this fact? Arjun, because they are deluded by the three modes of material nature. Therefore, they do not know me, because I am above the modes. How can the living entities cross over these three modes of nature, Krishna? It is difficult, Arjun, because this energy is divine and it belongs to me. It's like
Black
three ropes
square
that
has
are
come in the
interwoven each
middle.
one, which makes it very strong and very difficult to cut through. There's only one solution, but one must have faith in me and surrender. Then only can they cross over it easily.
Yes. So did you see? You can see this screen, no? My PPT you can see, no?
Yeah,
Yes, Mataji.
yes,
Mataji.
Mataji. Now
Mataji,
become
but we
easy.
can see a control bar also on top.
You can see control. This also you can see.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
So what is Krishna saying? Krishna is saying that, it is very difficult for anyone to understand this because they are all covered by the modes of material nature. Yeah. So this is all rat race. Yeah. We are all caught up into this rat race. Then Arjuna is asking Krishna, how can all these jivas get delivered? So Krishna is saying they can get delivered provided they surrender to me. Yeah. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Only if you surrender, right? That is why we say you chant. Only if you surrender, then only you will be able to cross this, understand me, and you'll be come out of this suffering. Otherwise, you'll always get stuck into a life of, birth and death. So this Maya is very, very strong. He himself is saying that it is very difficult to overcome Maya. But if you surrender, you will be able to overcome Maya. There's a nice example which is given by Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so his disciple, they were going on the beach, and then he had this fat disciple, okay, Brahmananda Prabhu. Yeah, and Prabhupada, so they were walking on the beach, and Prabhupada saw a small, tiny crab who was running on the beach. So Prabhupada said, Brahmananda, can you catch that small? Can you catch the small crab? Brahmananda, he went and he was trying to catch the crab, and crab immediately slipped off in the water. And Prabhupada started laughing. He said, Brahmananda, you have such a big body, but still you could not catch a crab. So Brahmananda Prabhu said, sorry, Prabhupada, I couldn't catch this. So Prabhupada said that, even so, like you have such a big body, Maya is also very powerful. But when you take shelter of Krishna, even at the lotus feet of Krishna, this Maya will not be able to do anything. So like another example I will give you is a bulldog. Okay, you're going to a friend's house. There's a bulldog in his house, and this bulldog, when he sees you, he starts barking and he starts running towards you. And now he's about to tear your shirt, or he's about to, catch your hand, or he's about to bite your hand. And your friend comes and then says, hey, Tommy, come here. And then bulldog just leaves him and he goes to his friend, wagging his tail. Right? So that is how Maya is. So Durga Mata is actually, she is servant of Lord Krishna. So Krishna would say, hey Durga, leave this little boy. He has come to me, he has surrendered to me, and he wants to get his heart cleansed. So please don't, leave him. So when you surrender to Krishna, then you will, Maya will not attack you. Yeah. So then, hearing this, Arjuna says, Krishna, you have made everyone so easy. For everyone, you just have to surrender to you, and then everything will be perfect, everything will be all right. Krishna says, no, Arjuna, that is the biggest problem. There are some people who will never surrender to me. Okay, so we will see who are those people who will never surrender to Krishna. You can hear?
Krishna, you say that those who surrender can cross beyond bondage. Then why don't all intelligent people surrender to you?
Yes.
Arjun, those who are foolish and proudly think themselves scholars are actually bewildered. They are like the blind leading the blind. They never surrender. Of these, there are 4 kinds. First is the mudha, who is like an animal, attached to the fruits of his work. He thinks that I am bound by karma like he is. He never takes time to hear about me, but prefers to hear mundane topics, which is like a hog eating stool. Second are the Naradama, who are socially and politically developed, but have no religious principles. They are born in a good family, but they become attached to mundane poetry and other subjects. Thus, they do not take to the goal of life. Next is a class called Maya Pritagyana. They are mostly very learned fellows, but the illusory energy misguides them. They follow atheistic Sankhya and think that the creation is caused by material nature. They see that nature and not me as the controller, even though the Vedas clearly explain this. The last rascal takes shelter of the demoniac nature. He hates me and wants to kill me, like Jarasandha. All these rascals have some knowledge, but still they do not surrender to me.
Yeah, you saw those people who do not want to surrender to Krishna. So he's saying, in spite of having this knowledge, there are these 4 people, right? Who are this? The Gitas, then who are born, who are jnanis, they don't want to surrender, and there are this people who are in animalistic kind of, they are doing all horrible activities. They do not want to surrender to me. So then Arjuna is asking Krishna, then who would come to you? So now see what Krishna is answering.
Hey Vasudev, who are the people that do surrender? Arjun, there are also 4 kinds of men who begin to render devotional service to
Listen
me.
very carefully. Huh?
The first one is the distressed, who has had some calamity, sickness in the family, or some other problem, and who desires to get rid of it. Next is the one who wants wealth, opulence, or land. He wants pleasure in this world or in the next. The third type is the inquisitive one, and his object is self-realization, or Sanskrit grammar, or logic. These are men of discrimination, who are better than the previous 2, but still they have desires. These 3 are called Sakam Bhaktas. They surrender, but have desires. The last kind is the Gyani, the one in knowledge. He knows that he is a spirit soul, that there is a super soul, and that he is part and parcel of the Supreme. He also has desires, but not material desires. Rather, he wants liberation. He is therefore called Nishkam. He performs bhakti to obtain liberation, but when he surrenders to me, it is out of love. Out of these 4, who is the best, Krishna? Of these, the one who is in full knowledge, the Gyani, who is always engaged in pure devotional service, is the best, Arjun. Why is that? Because he is always in union with me in one-pointed devotion. He has no distress or desire for money, so his meditation can be continuous. He is always absorbed in me, and his attention does not stray to anything else. Although I am all-knowing, I cannot measure his love for me. All I can say is that he loves me very much, and thus I love him in return. Krishna, the Gyanis are attached to you and worship you out of fear of losing their knowledge, isn't it? No, Arjun. Their main objective is devotion. Knowledge is secondary. Therefore, they are Gyanis in name only. They are not like the Gyanis who practice devotion for obtaining knowledge. Rather, this type of Gyani has great attraction for my beautiful blackish form.
So you saw that who surrenders? One who is distressed, one who wants money, one who is very inquisitive to know about Krishna, and one who is a Gyani. Now there are 2 types of Gyanis. Yeah, one Gyani who has now developed love for Krishna. Right, those Gyanis, very easy. Yeah, Krishna grants them liberation immediately. But there are other type of Gyanis, right? Like we saw Sukadev Goswami, we saw those 4 Kumaras. They are Gyanis, but they are not Bhaktas. Yeah. And after they became, after they met Lord, they became Bhakta. So he said, Aham Sacha Mama Priyaha. So he says, I am very dear to him and he is very dear to me. That such a Jnani never considers knowledge to be superior and devotion. So why should we gain knowledge? We should gain knowledge to understand Krishna, to love Krishna. Yeah. So that is this 4 categories. Yeah. Then yes. Yeah, we saw that the one who is he is very dear to me and I am very dear to him. Yeah. Then Krishna says that even for the 4 categories, so Krishna says that then there will be many. Arjuna says then the person will take many lifetimes to understand this. Yeah. So Krishna says that Bahunam Janmanam Ante Gnanvan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So what does Krishna is saying that? What? One who worships me, a Jnani who surrenders to me, knowing that I am everything. Yeah. So everything is coming from me. Then such a person is a Mahatma. And then such a person who surrenders to me, I accept him. Yeah. So we have Sankuchitatma, and we are Mahatma. So opposite of Mahatma is Sankuchitatma. So one who thinks that, my mother, my father, my caste, my state, my country, yeah, and then in the end comes love for all human beings. But in the end, still he is killing animals. Still he is, killing cows. He's killing goat. He's killing chickens and all that. Yeah. So such creatures, they are all Sankuchitatma. But one who thinks that, if all these creatures in this world are children of Krishna. They are all created by Krishna. They are all children of Krishna. Such person is a Mahatma. Yeah. So Krishna. So then Arjuna says, Krishna, everyone. So all this knowledge is there. Everything is there. But and you are also saying, and this knowledge is also there, that you surrender to me, and then everything will be fine. I will grant you liberation, and I will grant you liberation from all the sufferings. So then still why everyone goes to demigods? So then Krishna is saying they go for demigods just for quick results, for quick this thing. So for example, you have assume a situation that you have a boil on your hand, okay? And then you go and tell your brother or a sister, see this boil, it is hurting me. So what does your brother and sister do? They'll blow air on the boil. So what happens? This cool air will make you feel good. Yeah. So, but what is the right thing to do? To go to the doctor, get a boil cut, or get an ointment from the doctor and apply that ointment on the boil. That is the right thing to do. That is a permanent solution. Or just blowing, will that cure your boil? No. So demigod. So going to the demigod, you will feel nice only for a short period of time. They will not be able to solve your problem permanently. That is very important thing that we should remember. Yeah. So demigods are like a brother and sister who will, for a short period of time, you will feel good. But going to Krishna is like going to a doctor who will cure your problem permanently. Like Ravana wanted a golden Lanka, but again, his heart was, he did all the austerities, but his heart was not purified. He still had the lust to steal away, to take away Sita from Lord Ram, right? So even Bhasmasur worshipped Shiva. Shiva gave him the boon that anyone he keeps his hand on any person, he will get converted into ashes. Right? So he eventually Shiva himself landed himself in the problem. Hiranyakashipu went to Brahma. Eventually, what happened? Hiranyakashipu was killed by Vishnu, by Narasimha. Right? So similarly, the thing is that people go to the demigod, but demigod, what they will do? They will only give temporary solutions. The permanent solutions you will not get. And when will Krishna? If you go to Krishna, they know that they will only give when their heart is purified. Dhruva Maharaj, when his heart was purified, then he gave him a kingdom which was greater than Brahmaloka, greater than his great grandfather. Right? So like you see, so we will just imagine a situation that you have on a stage, okay? An MLA is standing, MP, member of the parliament is standing, a chief minister is standing, and a prime minister is standing. Yeah, and you have been given an opportunity to garland. You garland the minister, okay? And you have only one garland, and everybody is standing. MLA is there, MP is there, CM is there, PM is there. Now you have a garland. Whom will you go and put the garland? Say, assuming just 1 second. Assuming you take the garland, put it in the, you put it to the MLA. MLA will say, hey, Baba, what are you doing? That CM, PM are there. You should put the garland to them, to the PM. Where are you putting it in my hand? You will get shocked. He will get scared, right? So, and when if he puts it in the MP will say, oh, hey, Baba, PM is there. You should put in the hands of PM. You should give it to PM. Yeah. So Krishna is like the PM, and Shiva, Brahma, Durga, they are all like his ministers, and they will not feel bad. In fact, they will feel nice when the garland is put in the, put up to the PM. Yeah. So similarly, all these demigods, they are all ministers, and the ultimate aim of there is also to worship Krishna. So they will not feel bad. Ideally, since they are his servants, since they are his devotees, they would love that ultimately you put the garland to them. You worship Krishna. Okay. Then, yes, then we will hear this video audio again. Yeah. Yes. 1 second.
To the demigods, and those who worship me come to me. Where is the injustice? It's just those who worship the demigods go to the planet of the demigods, the supreme. So whoever wants to worship demigods, I give them faith in that deity. I create that faith in them. The demigods are not capable of doing it. Then, by that faith, they worship the demigod and obtain their desired goal by my grace. By worshiping the deity, they get the result. Because the demigods are my body, I grant their particular desires, even though the worshipper does not know that I am doing it. The results of these foolish people are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planet of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Hey Krishna, you are doing a big injustice to these people. They do the same amount of effort in worshiping their deities as do your devotees in worshiping you. To your devotees, you give an unlimited result because they go to the spiritual world where there is no end of pleasure. But these other people's result is limited, so this is an injustice. They perform the same amount of effort, but the result is different. I am not doing any injustice, Arjun. Devan Devayajo Yanti. They worship the demigods and they go to the demigods. And those who worship me come to me. Where is the injustice? It's just the rule. Those who worship demigods go to them. My worshippers come to me. When the demigods are themselves temporary and perishable, how can the result of their worship be permanent? Both the demigods and the results will be destroyed. Therefore, I say that the worshippers of these demigods are alpamedhasa, less intelligent. But those who worship with the idea that these demigods are also expansions of me, then those results are not temporary. If they worship the demigods, understanding them as my bodily limbs, then they will come to the proper position. However, those who have no intelligence think that I am beyond nature, but have no form, and that my appearance in the house of Vasudeva is an acceptance of a material form. They think that my appearance is illusory, not transcendental. Why do they think like this? They do not know that my form and pastimes are beyond the material nature and are all transcendental. Krishna, if you say that your form, qualities, and activities are eternal, why aren't they always seen by everyone?
This is very
I
important.
am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent, Arjun. For them I am covered by my yoga maya, and so the deluded world knows me not, who am unborn and infallible. But you should understand that neither external nor internal energy can cover my knowledge. Maya cannot cover its support. Although it covers them, it cannot cover me.
So did you see that Arjuna is asking that why everyone can't see you? So he is saying that, I will manifest only to those. 1 second. Stop sharing this. I will manifest only, I do not manifest to those who are.
Wait, man. The class has started. I don't know it is 8. Why?
No, Kabir, there's another class going on. You have to join that.
Oh, sorry, man. Sorry. I'll leave this. I'll leave this. Wait a second.
So Krishna says that I do not manifest to everyone. I am covered by my internal process. So to atheist, so to the atheist, I do not manifest. Yeah. So who the one who do not want me, one who do not love me, I will not manifest to them. So in the beginning only, Krishna says that I am telling you this knowledge because you are my friend and you are my devotee. In 3rd and 4th chapter also, he said, if you have faith, then only you will understand this knowledge. Otherwise, Krishna will not reveal himself. Krishna will reveal only to them who has faith in him. Okay? Yeah. So to envious people, he will never manifest. Yeah. And he says he knows past, present, and future. Yeah. Then he says, why we are not able to understand him? Because we have all this lust, anger, and greed. And if we follow all the 4 regulative principles, yeah, what are the 4 regulative principles? no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no irreligious relationships. Yeah. So if we follow all these four regulatory principles, then we will be able to understand Krishna. We should have faith in Krishna. Okay. So this ends our chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita. Was it easy to understand to all of you?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
I am trying to make it as simple as possible, not very philosophical. So it is good that you are all understanding. Yeah. So now, since we have completed first 6 chapters and we had assignments only on chapter 1 and 2, time comes again to give you assignment for chapter 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. So that I will send it to you soon. All those of you who have not submitted chapter assignments for chapter 1 and 2, please do that. See, understand that when you take Bhagavad Gita in your hand and when you open it and when you study, that really helps. So idea of giving you the assignment is that you open, you read, and you answer. So just enjoy this journey. Don't take this as a pressure कि नहीं अरे बाप रे वापस से assignment आ गया अभी मैं कैसे खत्म करूं मेरी एग्जाम भी है ये भी है वो भी है. Do this in a break time. Okay, do this in a break time, enjoy this journey, because once you take a pen and a pencil or once you sit on a computer and once you open this Bhagavad Gita, that time you will remember whatever is being taught. Okay, make such markings, underline the important points, whichever you think are important. Yeah, please do all that, then you will be able to understand it very nicely.
Mataji, my mother says not to even touch the book with a pen or a pencil.
There are different school of thoughts who think that if you write, then it is writing on Krishna's body, it is writing on Krishna's thing. So I leave it to you, whatever you feel like. But I generally, I do my markings. I put my notes there. I write down important points. So that is how, because otherwise it is very difficult for me to retain and it's very difficult for me to recall. So if you see in my Bhagavad Gita, I put so many pointers also. See the important pages I have just marked. Important things I will underline. See, I'll underline. I'll put star to it. So this is important thing. I'll put L, that is a learning. So I have my own acronyms which I put. So that I do not miss out, and whenever I read, at least I read that underlined part, I read that star part. Okay, this is an important thing that I should read the chapter. That is how I study Bhagavad Gita. You can have your own ways, but yeah. Yes, Ishani, you have a question?
Ma'am, you said you gave previous assignments. Where did you give them?
You missed that. I'll share it with you.
Okay, thank you.
Written assignment. So all the going forward, please submit your assignment in one single PDF. You can write it, but put it in a one single PDF. Use short, small PDF thing and put it in single PDF. That becomes easy for me to check. Otherwise, I hurt my eyes and it becomes a difficult task for me to check the answers. Yeah. So please ensure that you put it in small PDF. Okay. So if there are any questions, I can answer. Otherwise, we can call it a day. And see you tomorrow.
Mataji.
See you tomorrow. Tomorrow is again a very important topic that we are going to discuss. So please try not to miss. It is from Bhagavatam. Today we have Bhagavad Gita. Sunday we have Bhagavatam.
Mataji, you will do assignment of 3, 4, 5.
Sorry, Rita.
Mataji, you will give assignment of 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, I'll see. Depending upon the number of questions, I'll see. So don't take pressure. Enjoy this journey. Like you'll play video game, you like it to enjoy. While you watch TV, while you do anything, while you read a storybook, just take it as light as that, but do it very sincerely. Don't take it casually. Do it very sincerely, but enjoy whatever you are doing. Just enjoy. Because it is for pleasure of Krishna.
Okay.
It is, understand, it is not we do not want to become a Jnani. What is our ultimate aim? To develop love for Krishna. So enjoy that journey. Okay?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji.
Very nice. See you tomorrow.
Okay,
Please don't
Mataji.
miss the
Hare Krishna,
class.
Mataji.
Bye, Beta.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.